I noticed the Wi-Fi name change before I noticed the new lot code. PackYourThings_2.4G blinked at me from the hotel TV as I tried to airplay a video the morning after The Bachelorette. I laughed, because of course a Vegas hotel would have some chaotic sense of humor. Then I remembered our Wi-Fi back home was Milo the dog 5G, and the screen I was casting from wasn't the hotel network. It was my saved networks list. Aaron had renamed our Wi-Fi. The second thing I noticed was that my messages thread stopped delivering blue bubbles sometime around 2 a.m. The third was the pit in my stomach that no amount of free lobby coffee could fill. I'm Nadia. 28, dental hygienist, decent at eyeliner and excuses. Aaron is 30, systems engineer, decent at everything and annoyingly calm about it. We've lived together a little over a year, in his apartment. The lease in his name, my name on the mailbox with a cute heart because I wanted it there. We have Milo, whose full name is Carmelo Anthony when he refuses to drop the sock in his mouth. When I told Aaron about the Vegas trip, I said all the things you say to a good man who has never given you a reason to lie. It's Tina's bachelorette. It's just us girls. I'll FaceTime you from the fountain show. All three statements were true. There were also other true statements, like Tina's cousin invited 2 guys from her gym and I pretended not to notice the ring tan lines on one of them and I was 3 tequila shots past sensible when I let a stranger kiss me in an elevator because it made me feel like the main character. Technically, it was 2 strangers. One Friday, one Saturday. Same elevator, like I'm a superstition. There was no sex, which is a technicality I wore like a bulletproof vest in my head. There were hands, there were mouths, there were apologies I did not make until the hangover. I told myself I had only broken the spirit of the thing, not the letter. I wondered how many letters you have to break before a word stops being what it was. On Sunday, the hotel TV told me to pack my things and my phone agreed by refusing to deliver anything to Aaron. When I landed, my key fob blinked red. New code. Milo barked inside but not for me. I rang the downstairs bell and watched my own reflection in the glass, puffy eyes, airport sweater, carry on like a confession. Aaron opened the door with the kind of calm that scared me more than yelling ever could. Hi, I said, and wanted to swallow the word back down. Hey, he said. He didn't move aside. I booked a civil standby at 6. You can grab your things then. I boxed what's yours that I could identify. If I missed anything, make a list. Civil standby? I repeated, like the phrase might be in a language where I panicked means I'm sorry. He nodded once. It's when an officer comes so nobody can say anyone threatened anyone, he said. You can wait in your car or at Tina's. Milo's staying with me. Our dog, I said, and the word hit the ground between us like a dropped plate. My dog, he said, still calm. Adoption paperwork's in my name and I pay the vet. You can still see him at the park if you text me ahead. I won't be unreasonable, Nadia. I'm just done. He used my full name the way my mom does when I've forgotten to take chicken out of the freezer, gently, and with a disappointed patience that hurts more than anger. I'm not asking you to be unreasonable, I said, and a sob came up like a hiccup. I'm asking you to let me explain. You're going to say it was just kissing, he said. You're going to say you were drunk, and Vegas is a black hole, and it didn't mean anything, and you're not that kind of person. You're going to say I'm the best thing that ever happened to you and you don't know why you did it. You're going to hate how right I am about this list. Can I at least come in? I whispered. He looked past me, at the rideshare waiting at the curb, at the neighbor pretending to check the mail. He shook his head once. 6, he said. It's 3 now. The officer was kind. Or maybe I'm just not used to people being official around my emotions. He stood in the doorway while I walked through rooms that remembered me less than I wanted them to. The succulent on the windowsill drooped like it was embarrassed by association. Aaron had put my box stuff by the hall closet, labeled with painter's tape in his even handwriting, clothes, bathroom, makeup, books, misc/chargers. On top he'd placed a paper folder. Inside the folder, a printed call log with 2 unfamiliar numbers highlighted, "The gym guys," he said when I looked up, and I decided I hated that collective noun. 2 screenshots from Find My where my blue dot paused at a hotel tower for hours I'd told him I was in the casino, and a page with bullet points like it was an agenda for a meeting. Lease is in my name. You don't owe rent for the remainder of the month. I removed your line from my phone plan effective tomorrow. Your number will be yours. Check with the carrier to transfer your billing info. I'll Venmo your share of the deposit when we end the lease. If you need your old apartment stuff from storage, I'll pay the moving company to deliver it to wherever you land. Milo's vet records attached. You can see him Saturdays 10 to 11 at Jefferson Park. I'll leave after he greets you. I'm not telling your mom. You can tell your mom. Please don't contact my sister to ask her to mediate. She's on my side. I hope you're okay. Don't drive upset. Each line made me smaller and more furious. How dare he be both generous and done? How dare he make the high road look like a freeway with perfect blacktop and a speed limit he always obeys? I wanted a fight. I wanted anything besides this polite, devastating audit of our life. I didn't sleep with them, I blurted, stupidly proud. You didn't need to, he said. You still told me a story you know I would never have wanted to be part of. I messed up, I said, hearing how pathetic it sounded. But you set me up to fail. You made being good so boring, Aaron. You're perfect all the time and I stopped, because the officer shifted his weight in that way that says I am here to watch the line, not to pick a side. I'm not perfect, Aaron said, and his voice finally cracked a little. I'm just not going to let my life get dragged into somebody else's need to feel like the main character. I told you at the start, Nadia. Honesty and health, that's my whole list. That's it. If you're going to put my health at risk, or my head at risk, I'm out. The worst part was that this was exactly what he'd said at the start. First dates are cute until you realize they were position papers. I carried boxes to the elevator and hated the wait less than the reasons for it. Tina texted I'm outside and I texted 5 minutes and then I stood in my old bathroom gripping the sink with both hands because I had to say something true before I lost the chance to like myself. I wanted to feel exciting, I said to the mirror, as if it could show me a better version. I wanted to be 21 and stupid without consequences. I wanted to do the thing and go home to the person who wouldn't do the thing to me. I walked out. Aaron was in the doorway, hands in his pockets like he was giving them something to do instead of reaching for me. I set the last box down and, against every self-preserving instinct, I asked a question that made the officer look at his shoes. Is there someone else? I said. Is that why you're so, okay? His mouth twitched. Not a smile. There isn't, he said. There will be. Grief is a chore you can't outsource. The first week, I slept on Tina's couch and cried into Milo's old bandana because the fabric smelled like outside and safety. The second week, I looked for sublets and found out how expensive being single is. The third, I sent Aaron 1,000 letters in my head and none in real life. The fourth, I called my mother. She did what mothers do, asked where she went wrong, asked if I was eating, asked if Aaron had been mean. When I said no, she told me meanness would have been easier to hate. That boy is a wall, she said, not unkindly. You tried to lean on him and you bounced off and broke your nose. At the park on a Saturday, Milo forgot I was a villain. Dogs are kind like that. Aaron stood far enough away that the wind had room between us. He looked thinner, or maybe just lighter. New Wi-Fi name? I asked, because I didn't know how to say I don't know how to exist as the bad guy for this long. Back to Milo the dog, he said. Pack Your Things served its purpose. I keep writing you apologies in my notes app, I admitted. But they all sound like begging in a nicer font. Keep them, he said. Use them for you. He left first, so I could cry into Milo's fur without an audience. When the dog walker tried to return him, Milo planted his paws like the marble lions at the library. Same time next week? I asked, voice wrecked. Same time, Aaron said. I did the things people do when they're the villain: therapy, cardio, deleting every photo that tried to remember us too kindly. I learned about boundaries the way you learn about food allergies. Too late and via hives. I stopped telling the story where I was a victim of Vegas or tequila or proximity to elevator buttons. I started telling the one where I made small choices that added up to the exact result a grown woman should have predicted. Months later, I saw Aaron at the grocery store, the kind of cruel coincidence the universe loves. He was with a woman, tall and athletic, the kind of person who makes you think of trail mix and morning runs. They moved like magnets that had chosen their polarity on purpose. When they turned down produce, he spotted me. We did the polite smile you give old neighbors. In the parking lot, he caught up with me while his new person loaded kale and normalcy into the trunk. How are you? He asked, and the question landed like a handshake instead of a verdict. Better, I said. Worse every time I think about elevators. He laughed, just a little. Then he did something kind. He made it not about us. You were always good with Milo, he said. We're at the park 10 to 11. If you feel like it. I do, I said. Thank you. He nodded, started to walk away, then turned back. I changed the Wi-Fi name again, he said, and the mischief. Finally, Mercy. Made his eyes go soft. It's boundaries and bagels now. I laughed so hard I had to lean against my car. That's terrible, I said. It's honest, he said. And for once, I didn't argue with honesty. Phew. That was a ride. Here's the truth: if you need a city, a drink, or an excuse to feel like the main character, you're already writing a story you won't like the ending of. She learned the hard way, and he protected his peace. If you liked this one, hit subscribe for more stories tomorrow.